decided she could no longer subject her family to such danger. She quit her job and made plans to leave the country. This story, too, has a special resonance for Rwandans and their friends. In Rwanda, there are no carjackers or armed gangs. People walk the streets at all hours carrying money, cell phones, and other valuables. If police officers stop a car, it is to check whether seat belts are fastened, not to threaten, extort, or kidnap. Rwanda is not being torn apart by unending civil war like Somalia, or by criminal violence like Kenya. Instead, it is stable, its people groping their way toward modernity and liberation. I spent months traveling in Rwanda, and wherever I stopped, I asked people how this had come to pass. Nearly all gave me the same answer. Many even used the same words. In the end, they told me, it's all about leadership. The central figure in Rwanda's rebirth, Paul Kagame, emerged during the first decade of the 21st century as one of the most intriguing leaders in Africa. He preaches a doctrine of security, guided reconciliation, honest governance, and above all, self-reliance. Already he has brought Rwanda much that was inconceivable in the wake of the 1994 genocide, law and order, the beginning of economic growth and social transformation, a cooling of sectarian passions, and, most astonishing of all, a pulsing sense of enthusiasm and optimism. During one of my stays in Rwanda, Bill Clinton stopped in to visit a hospital that his foundation supports near Rawinkwavu on the rich eastern savanna. A few days later, Bill Gates showed up and announced that his foundation would spend $900,000 to build a medical center where doctors and technicians from across Africa will be trained in treating infectious diseases.
Then came Howard Schultz, chairman of Starbucks, who was so impressed that he brought President Kagame to his next annual meeting in Seattle.
Andrew Young, the former Atlanta mayor and UN ambassador, passed through with a delegation of African-American leaders, and after returning home, marveled, "Something great is happening in Rwanda." These are not the only outsiders who have been captivated by Rwanda's sudden emergence. Wherever I stopped, I found others just as convinced that this tiny country, about the size of Maryland or Belgium, may be poised for a historic leap toward prosperity. Their admiration for Kagame springs from the pages of my notebooks. Kevin Terry, British-born mining engineer. I consider myself an African. I've seen so many promising leaders come and go. Paul Kagame, I am so impressed with him. When you think of what this country has gone through and look at where it is now, it's something you can hardly believe. There's a future here. This is a place that people from all over Africa are starting to look at. They're saying, "Look what's happening there. Why can't we do that where we are?" And you have to say that most of this is because of Paul Kagame. Problems that Africa has never seemed able to solve, he is solving. Tim Schilling, agronomist from Texas who works with coffee farmers in southern Rwanda. Kagame is the key. He's holding it all together. If Rwanda stays on track the way it's going now, this guy is really going to be the star of Africa. Peter Schoenaer, ambassador of the Netherlands. What these people have achieved in the short time since the genocide is unbelievable. This is a terrific country. You can work with these people. They have drive. They want to get things done. It's not like countries where the government promises the world and nothing happens. They work very hard. They know what they're doing and they're smart. They want to play in a very high league, and if they continue like they are now, I'm sure they can get there. Alicia Lilly, director of a project to protect Rwanda's mountain gorillas. The things I see in Rwanda are incredible. It's so positive. This place is moving ahead in spectacular ways. This president is doing incredible things. Raj Rajendran, Indian-born businessman. Things happen much faster here than in other places in this region. We have a sister company in Uganda, and we work with suppliers in Kenya, South Africa, and a lot of other countries. You see comparatively that this country is moving forward much faster. I would give all the credit to the president. His personal traits make this whole project successful. Despite this enthusiasm, there is a good reason to doubt Rwanda's prospects. It faces daunting challenges. Most of the population lives in extreme poverty.